She's just a girl, but she's on fire.
Hi, Ali Alvarez here. And today on our 30-day millionaire mindset expansion, I want to talk to you about mind training, training your own mind. Now, why would you do that? Essentially, if you don't train your mind, someone else will. So it's really about driving your own car. And I'm going to teach you a few things that are going to be really, really helpful. And this is for on your path to change. And sometimes when we want to change things in our life that aren't working, you actually have to sort of reprogram aspects of your thinking to help you to create that change. It's sort of like helping you to alter your behavior around certain things. So I'm going to talk to you a couple of tricks and traits that have helped me and things that are really powerful and useful to do. The first one that I like to do when there's a new idea or a new concept that I'm trying to train my mind around, it can be something as simple as thinking more positive, is that you're going to write yourself a note. And you're going to put that note many different places in your house, in your wallet. It might be, for example, a concept that you want to sort of absorb in and get yourself thinking around something. If you're like, I want to remember to think this way. Like if I want to remember, like the word yes is a great example. So that if you're feeling that you're kind of stuck in a place of negative thinking and you really want to get out of that, you could put the word yes all over your house for like 1 week. It's all it takes is like a week. And you start seeing that word every day, and you want to sort of link that word to say, every time I see the word yes, I want to remind myself to think more positively, right? So using like little Post-its and notes, I put it places in the kitchen and in the bathroom where we use every day, like the bathroom mirror is a really powerful place to put that, and also on the fridge. To just say, all right, this is the thought pattern that I want to train my mind to think. And again, like if we don't come in with a conscious purpose, to live on purpose and to consciously train our mind to think a certain way, we're going to our mind will be willy-nilly and will be subjected to being, subjected upon. Like other things are going to come in and sort of create our reality. So it's like you want to kind of be in the driver's seat of your own life. And this is one of the ways to do that, is to really by training your mind and cultivating what you want to do. Another one is repetition, right? So with the notes, we're seeing them over and over. There's a repetition to that. But sometimes if we're reading, like on our 30-day millionaire mindset expansion, everyone's reading books and listening to audio, right? So with that, it's not just listening to it once, it's listening to it many, many times, because information comes to us in layers. And the first time we're exposed to a new idea or new information, we get about 10% of that information. And you really want to go back in, you want to hear it again, you want to hear it for a third time, hear it for a fourth time, and you're going to start to see, if you really do that, and you start to take it in over and over and over again, your perception and your relationship to that information is going to change. And it's going to come, the idea what we want to do is we want to take the information and not just put it in our head space, we need to put it inside of our body. It needs to be integrated into our being. And you'll hear people talk about it sometimes that in the way that it's not just that they understand something mentally, that they understand something viscerally. They understand it within their body. It's a very, very different thing, and it's a very different response out into the world. And when we drop it down and we can understand something in our body and in our heart and on a cellular level, it's much more powerful, and it's something that kind of comes out of us. Versus the mind, a lot of times information can sort of just bounce off of our mind or just be stored in a database, and it doesn't always necessarily come out into the world and it's part of our being. And that's really what we're looking for, is to create who are we being in the world and to raise up our beingness, correct? Okay, so the next point in training the mind is I call exclusion, right? And it's taking away certain things that are distracting us and disrupting us. Television, probably the number one thing for most of us. And sometimes like Facebook and email, if we're kind of getting lost, where if we're really wanting to focus and create and do something in our world, we got to look at what's distracting us and what's leading us astray. And we have to bring ourselves back. So it's cutting out things that are not allowing us to stay on our path to create what we want to do. And to be very particular and very picky about what we're willing to let in, and to keep that on the path of what is allowing us to grow. Okay? So being very careful about that and very protective while we're in the state of changing and cultivating ourselves, right? We need to protect that, protect what we're creating. Audio. I said that in a really weird way, right? Audio. Again, and this is part of our 30-day millionaire mindset expansion. If you haven't plugged in and started to really do the audio aspect of this, I encourage you to do it. Very, very, very powerful. Cannot be underestimated how powerful this is. And it can take a little time, right? It can take, give it a couple weeks, give it 2 or 3 weeks where you're going to start to shift and see a shift in your mind frame, in your mindset, when you're listening to this audio every single day, right? A big one. And the last one I'm going to say is meditation. Some of you probably meditate, some of you don't. Meditation is a really, really powerful way to sit in the seat of yourself and get to know your own mind and get to know yourself on such a deep level. And it's a really amazing way to get access to your own higher wisdom. And if you've never sat and meditated before, in a nutshell, a couple of things I can tell you about that is that if you pick the same time every day, and just give yourself 5-10 minutes. Don't put a strong agenda on it. You just get yourself a quiet space. You sit comfortably. You close your eyes. And you just put your attention on your breath. And you begin to observe the world around. And just take that moment of stepping into silence without having to fix anything or do anything. And let that evolve from there. So I hope these are helpful. Part of the Empower Network, we have something called the Inner Circle, which I have mentioned before. And the Inner Circle part of the Empower Network is really, really, really powerful with helping to train mindset. And some of the feedback we're getting from people, and this has been really true in my own life, is that connecting into the Inner Circle audios has been absolutely transformational for thousands and thousands of people. The feedback of people coming in and just saying, no, this is really, it's a tool, a resource that has really helped people to transform their thinking, the paradigms of their own thought processes. And that's huge. That's huge if you really start to think about. It can be really hard to kind of come in and clean out your mind, clean out the junk thinking that doesn't work for you, that doesn't serve for you, that doesn't serve your life, and start to take your thinking and raise it up to a higher level. And that's really what the Inner Circle is all about, is that you're surrounding yourself with people who are thinking at a much higher level and that they have spent a lot of time in their life cultivating a better aspect of who they are. And you get to be around them day after day after day, people that are creating and doing great things in the world. So I suggest that you check that out. It's available to members within Empower Network. So now might be a really amazing time on your journey of your 30-day journey if you want to step in and join us in Empower Network. It's $25 to get started, and to step into the Inner Circle. Really, really powerful, really good stuff. You wouldn't be disappointed at all. And there's probably by now over 100 audios in the library. It's like you really get access to an entire library of interviews and of training concepts that are not available anywhere else and that have really transformed and changed lives. So thank you for tuning in. Here's to the success upon your path and your journey. And please leave comments and your thoughts below. And I want to hear how things are going for you. And I want to hear how this is changing your life. Have a great day. Bye.